Thank you for waking up with Happy Ass. We've come together to do a mind, body, and spirit so we can in turn go out and make the world a brighter and sweeter place to live for ourselves and for others. And today, once again, I'm in with my very effervescent and darling daughter.
Ta-da!
Who can get a little spicy.
It's true.
You would be okay with getting an argument with me because it would go very chill because I wouldn't do it. She might get an argument with you. I don't know. She can take up for the one she loves especially. But you know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to take a quick break to get these dogs out of here.
The dogs just came into the studio.
Okay, we're back from getting the dogs out of the studio. We had to say who let the dogs out.
Fans.
Us. So I'm so excited to be here with my daughter, and I love it. She walked in and she said, "Hey, what's the plan? Or are we just gonna do it? What did you say?"
I don't know what I said or if it should be repeated. All I know is my entire life is me asking you, is there a plan or a budget? And you laughing like that and going, we're just going to shoot from the hip.
Why are you still asking then?
I don't know. I think maybe this might be the one time that there's like an agenda.
Yeah, well, you can keep on dreaming. That's okay. That's okay. Agenda. Yeah, I'm not real good with that. Agendas and stuff. Okay. But we are going to talk about something today. We're going to talk about Jon Acuff's soundtracks. I love it. Well, actually, this is not unusual that you and I would fall in love with the same author because we really do like a lot of the same authors now that I think about it.
Yeah.
We love the same writers. I introduced you to a new poet that you didn't know about.
I'm obsessed with Joyce Sullivan.
Oh my God, this is not supposed to be about that. So we're just going to talk about this just a second. Then we'll get back to what we're supposed to be talking about. Like I said, no agenda. But Joyce Sullivan, I discovered her from a podcast, which why podcasts are the best in the world. Y'all hear me now? I love podcasts. So Joyce Sullivan was on one of my podcasts, and when I heard her speak and read her poem, Directions for Traveling West.
Yeah, it was Instructions for Traveling West.
Same thing. But my favorite line was, homesick for the life you don't have, or you didn't know you had, or whatever. I mean, I'm just like, oh my gosh.
My favorite line was at the end. I loved we are homesick for the lives we are not living. But the last line, which is very Karen, very happy ass-esque, was joy is not a trick.
Oh.
And that was so beautiful.
Well, my new soundtrack, since we're talking about soundtracks, and I got it from you. I wish you had that poem to read on air. We'll do it at the next podcast.
The joy is my favorite color?
Joy is my favorite color.
Yeah.
I got that because Britt wrote in a poem that she wrote to me that said, joy is a color that goes with everything. And I went, that is the most Karen thing you could ever say. I love it so much. So now my mantra is joy is my favorite color. And I love that so much. And that's kind of what soundtracks are. Soundtracks are stop overthinking. When overthinking messes up your life and interferes with the life you want to live, so you have to develop new soundtracks.
You have to curate your own playlist.
Your own playlist.
What
because
playlist is serving you and your goals and your best mental state. Mm-hmm. And obviously you have just instructed me my whole life to really pay attention to what I put in my brain and in my heart because that's what's going to be my output. And, you had me reading Think and Grow Rich and what to say when to talk to yourself. And when you talk to yourself and all these positive
every John
things,
Maxwell book ever written.
Every Zig Ziglar book, every John Maxwell book, all this stuff my whole life. But the thing that I think we both appreciate about John's take on it is, besides the fact that he's a contemporary, he has this kind of edge to him. He's a little self-depreciating. He has some sarcasm. He's kind of funny and quirky. And I think that like down-to-earth accessibility makes people feel comfortable. And it's not as like, for the lack of, it's not woo-woo. It's not too churchy. It's just like very, very accessible for any person to connect to him.
I like it more than any, like for instance, like John Maxwell is my leadership guru. Mm-hmm. He's my leadership guru. Nobody ever but him. Norman Vincent Peale and Zig Ziglar are my positive gurus. This guy right here, when it comes to mindset and words that we say to ourselves, even more so than Shedham Stetler, which is what I started with, what you say when you talk to yourself. But Jon Acuff, to me, is the best in this field. And he is so dang funny.
He's really funny.
And you feel like he's like your friend next door.
Yeah, if you get
like
a
you could hang
chance
with him.
to listen to
Oh my
the
God.
audio, he's had podcasts, but if you get a chance to listen to his audible versions of his books, I highly recommend
They're
that.
perfect. I've listened to all of his books and I've read all of his books to this day. But one of the things that I love, like you said, this is something that we really have done our whole lives. And I don't know if you even know when it started. It started before you were even born. And I may have told you this story before, but when I was pregnant with you, it wasn't necessarily a planned
Surprise!
since I wasn't married. Yes, you were definitely a surprise, but we had little bumps along the way. Yeah. But when I was pregnant with you, I read that line from that psalm, "You are fearlessly and wonderfully made." And I said it over and over and over. And I still say that to myself this day. And when I doubt myself sometimes, that is a soundtrack that I give myself when I start doubting myself or feeling like I'm not being great at stuff. You know what I mean? Do you have a current soundtrack you're using right now?
Well, I have a few. How deep are we getting? One of my things is one of the lies I think we tell ourselves is there's not enough time. And that is such a bunch of crap. Everybody has 10 minutes. Everyone has 15 minutes, especially when you look at your social media time at the end of the week and it's like, you've been online for 7 hours or whatever. And you're like, I have been watching goat videos for 2 hours, or my mom is sending me monkey videos. We just love a good monkey video. We just love it. It makes us so happy. Our algorithm is so confusing. Well, mine's confusing. Hers is happiest. But so he says this thing of some is better than none. And I've really taken that. So if I only have 10 minutes to do that, some is better than none, which is kind of an amalgamation of a soundtrack that I have been utilizing for the past couple of years, which helped me get my first book done, which was good is good enough. That has just helped me so much, because you and I have always in business lived by Pareto's principle of the 80-20 rule. And so is it 80% good enough? Okay, move on to the next thing. Because here's the thing. If I take on that attitude, eventually I will get enough reps in where the quantity of my work will help with the quality. And so that is really something that's been good for me. The other thing for me is in my people pleasing.
That's a whole thing.
That's a whole other thing. But as a recovering people pleaser, a lot of times it's like, want to just overdo repair when I'm in conflict with someone. I want to just oh my gosh, what can I do? What can I do?
Fix the whole thing.
I want to fix the whole thing.
Not just
things that
problem.
are not my responsibility to fix at all. So I often have to step back and go, what's my part in this? And so I guess that's more of a question, a mantra. I don't know if you consider that a soundtrack.
Yeah, I think so.
But I definitely have to say, what's my part in this? And on a more vulnerable level, I say to myself, I deserve a love I don't have to chase. And that could be on anything. That's friendships, that's romance, that's business partnerships, that's creative alliances. If I'm having to chase down something or prove my worth or audition my worth, it's not worth it. Life is too short. So you can replace that love word with anything. I deserve joy I don't have to chase. I deserve a life I don't have to chase. I deserve, fill in the blank. I deserve friends I don't have to chase. And the other one that you and I have talked about before, I think sitting here, is I'll feel better after I'm done.
Oh, yeah, I love that one.
Or I'll feel better after. So, and that really helps me when I'm doing something unpleasant, like taxes.
So this is a good spot to mention my sweet Plumpy. Yeah.
Okay.
That was fun. Okay. My sweet sponsor, Pepsi. Buffalo Rock Pepsi, thank you so much for believing in all this happy assery. And I'm very thankful for Holiday Beach Mechanical, which Britt and I think we paid for their building, haven't we?
Oh my gosh, I use them so much in our rental business. I love them.
It's crazy.
They're
I love
great.
them. But what I love about them, well, besides a lot of things, besides they're super creative, smart, funny, all the things. They have a beautiful building. But what I love about them is it's my one-stop shop. I've got the HVAC, I've got the electrical, and I've got
Plumbing.
the plumbing. And then they also have a big, beautiful, amazing rental company. They specialize in very expensive, bougie properties. So I don't have any of those at the moment. So, but I can't help them there. But they are great. I love them. And did I tell you about Ferrucci's?
I heard wind of that.
Isn't that exciting?
That is super exciting.
Super excited.
I can't wait.
I see a lunch in our future.
I do.
Yeah.
I see
and
pasta
she
in our
told me
future.
that they're, oh gosh, what was her favorite thing she said? Oh gosh, snapper piccata? No, it's snapper, I think. Oh my gosh, it's some kind of fish piccata. Oh, I'm so glad I'm doing so well. So well. But they get it fresh at Tarpon Docks. I do remember that part. Hey, I'm about to be 67, so they'll forgive
Mom,
that.
I don't want to hear it.
They'll forgive that.
You're the youngest person I know.
I'm excited about that. Okay, we got off on a tangent, didn't we? So, and you know what? I know you want to know where this top came from.
Amore.
Amore, yeah. And you
Called
said
it.
You said I look like Nana in this.
You reminded me of Nana because she would wear
Frilly
these like
things.
bright clothes, and they
Yeah.
would always match her earrings. You called them. You or her said earbobs.
Earbobs. We both
She
saw
said
them
I had
earbobs.
to put on my earbobs.
Earbobs, yeah.
So she was not going to go out of the house without lipstick
No.
and her earbobs, but you're giving off like
I know.
very like
that's
Nana
cool.
vibes.
And and my hair looks like Nana's now too. And I thought about that the other day. So Nana was my very sweet, kind mother who was my biggest fan. She told me
very
I was
well dressed.
Yeah, she was darling. She would sit in the house and be darling, and that carried over to me, not always to my daughter.
I love me a good moo-moo. Not gonna lie.
Oh, you won't
And
catch
house
me in a movie.
slippers.
Yeah, so thank you, Hue Salon, for my darling locks. But we'll talk more about people later. But what were we talking about?
Well, we were talking about soundtracks.
Yeah.
And I had said
But-
a couple of them.
But the specific one, the last one.
The
you said.
last one I said was basically that I'll feel better after
Yes,
I'm done,
after you're
it's
done it,
over.
yeah.
So like something I'm, whether it's like cleaning the kitchen or
Yeah.
in my case, was working on my taxes
Yeah.
this week. Like just stuff that's not fun.
I don't know what I'm going to do when I leave my business because I haven't done tax. I don't even know. I forget when taxes
You
because
will
my people do.
continue to do what you're doing, and you will pay professionals and pay
I will.
admin people to do it for you,
Yeah, I
Mom,
think I
because
will.
Pareto's principle, remember?
Yeah, it is because I'm really. I don't. Do you remember? This is totally off track, maybe, but maybe not. Maybe it's knowing where you're supposed to be. But when I was when I had my other bookkeeper years ago in my company, and she paid my bills too, just like Christy does, I thought I was not being very responsible. And I thought, I need to learn to pay my own bills. I'm a grown up. I need to pay my own bills.
Whatever. What
I
does
need
that
to
mean?
balance a checkbook, which I've never balanced a checkbook in my life. That's so embarrassing. So I told her, I said, Bridget, I'm going to do this myself. Give me my checkbook. Give me my bills. I
don't remember this tragedy.
I left it one day.
This sounds terrible.
When I sat down and looked at it all, it was like you were speaking Greek or German to me, or a combination of the two. And I just freaked out, and I got a note. I wrote her a note, and I said, Dear Bridget, I do not want Karen coming anywhere near this. Continue to do this for her. Thank you, God. I know my talents, and I know my gifts, and that's not one of them.
I know you're supposed to be interviewing me, but I have a question.
Yeah.
So I do feel like you have set a really good example for me and for the people we work with that Pareto's principle is a real thing.
It's a real thing.
Like delegate. What soundtracks have helped you kind of like ease that I don't know, insecurity of that you have to be good at all things?
Oh.
Because is there a soundtrack where I don't know, is it like I'm enough, or I don't know, what is the thing that you say to yourself to help you chill out that like you don't have to be great at everything?
Oh, no. I think mine is I'm great at the things I'm great at.
Oh, I like it.
I'm great at the things I'm great at. And I learned this a long time ago, and John Maxwell talks about this a lot. He says, when people will come to him and say, what should I do about this? I'm horrible at this. He goes, nothing. I go, what do you mean nothing? He said, okay, this is the deal. If you're like a 8 or 9 or a 10 in like enthusiasm or leadership, you can continue to improve. You can go from an 8 to a 9. You can go from a 9 to a 10. But say, for instance, in money management. Okay, if I'm a 2 in money management, the best I'm going to be is maybe a 4 or a 5. Nobody's going to pay me to be a 4 or a 5. No one's going to come to me for advice for money management. And I think that's why I was such a good special ed teacher. I really believe, and I still believe that to this day, so you're not good at math. Who cares? Get a calculator. You know what I mean? So no one is going to listen to you or follow you for the things you're kind of mediocre at. So I just kind of stick to the things I'm good at. I might try a little bit, but I'm going, no, not doing it. I'm pretty good about that. And I love it. Lisa Ward said to me one time, she said, I'm not going to pay anybody to do something I can do myself. You know what I said? My soundtrack, I'm not going to do myself what I can pay somebody else to do.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. I'm going to take a cue from Taylor Swift. Like, my energy is expensive.
Ooh, energy is expensive.
Like, do I really want to spend my energy on this?
Oh.
And I think it also goes back to like whatever your goals are. And if you go back to whatever your goals are and you're trying to decide, you're trying to have kind of a litmus test for whether you should do the thing or not, or whether you should delegate it to someone else. Is this going to get me to my goal faster and or with less stress? Like, what's the trade-off?
I'm freaking out over that one.
The idea of doing something just because you can is
That's stupid.
insane to me.
Yeah, like cleaning your house.
Like, oh, well, I can mow my own lawn. Well, yeah, you can, but doesn't mean you should. I mean, if you like mowing your own lawn, is that your thing? You like getting sweaty and gross and whatnot? Then go for it. We've gone off the rails.
No,
Mom,
it's
haven't
okay.
we?
I've got a true confession. So
Okay.
when I first got
what's
married,
this going to be like?
and he's
Clutch your pearls.
He's dead now, so he won't know. Well, maybe he knows now.
God, where's this going? Hide your kids.
When I got married to Hugh, I knew that he was very orderly and very organized and kept his home really clean.
So you tried to pretend like you were clean?
I tried to pretend like that I enjoyed it, or I was good at that. Or I never pretended like I wanted to cook or anything like that. I mean, he knew by my talents and skills that I was more a person that went outside the home and worked. He knew, but I tried to be that. But you can only fake it for so long. And I didn't fake it very long at all. He knew.
He saw your car, Mom.
He saw my car, and I don't know if you know this story, and we'll get back on track. He was very, like I said, very organized, his side of the room looked like just like a hospital room. My side of the room looked like a frat party just happened. So we always shared books. We loved reading books together. And I gave him a copy of one of my paperback books. I think it was Beach House or something like that. Beach Music.
I love that.
I love that guy. I've read every one of his books.
Pat Conroy.
Oh, love Pat Conroy. So I gave the book to Hugh, and it had suntan oil on it. It was all grimy. And it was when we first started dating, he said, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I cannot have this ratty, torn, disheveled book. I hope it doesn't hurt your feelings. But yeah, so we were quite different. But so I digress. So the other thing that I want to say to you that was so cool, I read in the book. I love it. It says, resilience is allowing yourself to begin again when things don't go the way you expected the first time. So I think what people need to hear is that when you're developing new soundtracks and trying to get rid of old soundtracks, you got to replace them with new ones. And you got to come up with techniques and habits to turn down the noise. Because we were talking about people pleasing. That is something that I'm working on. And I'll tell you, I believe this to be true. Until you get healed of something.
Is there such thing?
Well, or enter a time of healing.
Integrate healing in your life. I don't know if there's such thing as anything is healed at this point.
I don't know. There's nothing that's totally healed. I
Yeah.
think that you can be in a healing or in a recovery process. And constantly recovering. There's always new levels.
Yeah.
New levels. But I believe that you think it's just one and done, you're done. So what Jon Acuff was saying to one of his friends, he said, I thought that once I found this technique of soundtracks and replacing, that I was done. My whole life would change before me. But he realized that it wasn't, you couldn't turn it off. It's more a dial. It's more you can turn it down.
So when you say turn it down, are you talking about like just external stimuli, or are you talking about the negative soundtracks, the negative tapes the not enough, the how dare you, the negative voices?
I think it's both. And he gave ways that you could do that. So I thought this was really cool. It said that the problem with the internal voices we hear is that we want to switch. I hadn't heard thoughts described that way before, so I asked him what he meant. He says, we think there's a switch that can just turn it off, and it's off forever. But it's more a dial. You turn it down, and it gets less noisy and less noisy, and you find more ways of coping with it. And I want to think about what are some of our ways of coping with it. One of his ways of coping or trying to turn the dial down was that he uses running. Running is what he does. He puts on his shoes and he goes running. Well, for me, and I think for you too, exercise is very, very important to me. Moving my body, listening to my body, being in tune with my body, it's been huge. I think it has been for you too, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's like the greatest antidepressant there is. I have to move my body, for sure. But I will say that sheer willpower or sheer redirection, which I think when we're using some of these coping mechanisms like exercise or going to read something that puts us in a good mood or see a beautiful piece of artwork or whatever, those are actions to me that are redirection actions. They don't necessarily, the noise, I'm going to call it, of those negative voices that are still there. And I personally have found a little bit more success with taking a more of an observational tone with them and kind of meeting them with kind of a spirit of forgiveness and compassion, which is not something that I was great at first. I very much was like, no pain, no gain, where I'm going to win. And that turns out is not a great strategy. So, for example, if you're having the noise of, what the hell am I thinking? Who do you think you are?
All the time.
All those how dare you? You're not good enough for this. You're not big enough for this. Whatever that negative voice is. First of all, I started reframing it as that means I'm on my way to do something great. Because if there's resistance coming my way and there's negativity coming my way, that means I'm leveling up. That means I'm doing something that's making me uncomfortable. So that's a thing to celebrate. And then the next thing is okay, whatever your psychology is, or whatever you want to call that voice, if you were to look at that voice as being the smaller version of yourself, how can you meet that voice with compassion and just know that voice is just trying to protect you? And so if they say, that voice says, you're not up for this, I almost try to take this tone of okay, I hear what you're saying, that I'm not up for this, but actually I am. And I kind of make cases for why I'm up for it. It doesn't always happen. This is a practice. But if I can slow down my thoughts, I think that's the first step to redirecting.
And it's also, another one he uses Lego sets. He loves Legos.
Yes.
He loves Legos. Another one that he uses, and I know I use this, and I think you do too, are making lists.
Oh, I love me a list. Talk about a dopamine kick, you guys. Is there anything more satisfying than making a list?
I love your poetry when you talk about lists. You have some poetry about lists. And
I use them as writing exercises.
I love that when you do that.
Especially to kind of warm up.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what's another one? Of course, friends. That's a good one. And minor tasks. I think sometimes we think we have to do something really, really big, but sometimes it's just doing little things,
I gave some dresses away to a friend that had been sitting in my room for months, and I felt so accomplished. And then I thought, okay, well, I can get another little pile together.
Yeah.
So it's just little, you need a little win sometimes.
Yeah, you do. I love little wins. I love them. They make me feel so good. I know this is supposed to be about soundtracks, and I am developing new soundtracks about my people pleasing because it sounds, I'm not an F in it or even a D. I'm kind of like a C- right now. And I think it ebbs and flows in your life. So I think I'm doing really, really, really good. And then I see myself getting into those patterns again because I know I learned in Al-Anon that the very thing that is a gift can also be a detriment in your life. It's a gift that I love people, and I want to be a giver, and I want to be a lover of all humanity. That's a gift. But where it slights the other side is when you are more concerned about someone else than your own health or sanity. Give you a great example that just happened to me. So
Can't wait for this.
I know. So I'm just so silly. I'm almost embarrassed to say it, but I think maybe somebody
Mom,
somebody might be
I'm
helped
sure you're
by it.
not alone. I'm sure what you're going to say, a lot of other people are going
I
to
think
nod their
somebody
head
might be
at.
helped by this. So I decided that, because I've lost all my weight and I've consistently been at my goal weight for over 6 months now, maybe longer than that. So doing good. But then people told me that I needed to do cardio. I needed to do more cardio. Well, I don't know who those people are because my fitness coach told me, don't worry about it. Just walk 20 minutes a day. That's good enough. You're
Did we
good.
talk about you having a permit to do
I
whatever
know,
you
do
damn
whatever
well
the heck I
please?
want. I know. But I also was thinking about the VO2 max and all that stuff that you read about here about all the longevity podcasts.
I'm rolling my eyes right now.
I know. So if you can't see it, if you see it, you can see it on YouTube, but not on, the other ones. But so I decided that I would sign up for Orange Theory Fitness. Now, Orange Theory Fitness is great. This is no slant on them. So I signed up for Orange Theory Fitness a while back, and I was happy because Barb was happy because Barb got points or something because I signed up. Then the little girl that was in there happened to be the daughter of a friend of mine, and she was super excited because she got to sign me up, and I think they get something. And then another guy comes up to me and says, here's a new person. I wonder if they're going to stay. And said something, when she show up, and the guy said, oh yeah, Karen always shows up. Karen is always in there. She works out all the time. Well, guess what? I signed up maybe about a month ago. Ask me how many times I've gone.
Twice.
Twice.
Nailed it.
Let me tell you why.
Because you didn't want to.
I didn't want to.
Because you were just trying to make people happy.
Yeah. Well, what happened was I thought I wanted to, but then when I made all these other people happy, and then I was a benefit to them, I was trying to figure out how I could not do it because I didn't want to do it. It doesn't work for my schedule. I like being in the gym a little bit after 4 a.m. and
gross.
And and to be honest with you, I don't like working out with other people. I like working out on my own. I'm really an independent worker outer. So
that tracks.
I have literally not stopped that membership, which I'm going to. And I even went to Barb yesterday and said, Barb, I'm so sorry. Like she said, what are you sorry for? I said, I'm not going to do Orange Theory Fitness, but I know that you got a benefit. So if I'll pay for whatever benefit you got. So I knew that it wasn't
Well,
for
you
me.
and I have both done this. How many times have you and I not canceled subscription services? Or
Don't want to hurt somebody's
we don't want to hurt
feelings.
someone's feelings, or not canceled a product. Just
Seriously?
Yeah.
Come on.
I do it all the time.
I mean, I'm sorry.
I'm better at it now.
Well, I thought I was better, but but so I know how this comes back to soundtracks. Is I know that, and we've laughed at. I have a permit. I have a permit to do what is best for me at this phase of my life. So I think we need to thank a few more sponsors.
All right.
Real quick.
So what are you going to love on?
I'm going to, you know what I'm going to love on. You know them, but you don't use them like I do. Elysium Med Spa. I went there this morning and got a little thing in my whatever.
IV.
Thank you.
It was like immunity boost.
Immunity boost,
You were
yes.
feeling kind of a little under the weather, and they have options for that.
They do.
if
It
you're
was
feeling-
wonderful. And I will tell you that I have gotten a Botox needle or two. I've also got a little bit of filler.
All right.
Yeah. So I like that. So they have all kinds of services. I love them. They're so sweet. But you know what was really sweet about today? They weren't even working today. And she didn't tell me that. I called her last night and said, I'm not feeling real good. I'm starting to get a scratchy throat and I don't have time for that. She said, well, come on in and we'll give you an immunity boost. And I got there and they weren't even open. They were having a training. So wasn't that sweet?
That was sweet. They're
Super
good
sweet.
people.
Yeah. And I want to thank Minutes and Miles. I also want to thank Brian Yormat with Bay Tax Solution. And that has been, okay, I tease myself at not being smart about taxes and financial things. I'm really impressed that I did that. It did take me about 3 times to learn to understand it, but I'm real proud of myself.
Mom, one of your gifts is understanding limitations and,
Yeah.
and recognizing the talents in others. So you see the big picture and know, hey, I need that.
Yeah.
Who's the person that can get me there?
Yeah.
That has been a game changer for
Game
your
changer.
business.
Unbelievable. So I cannot sing his praises enough. Brian Yormack with Bay Tax Solutions. If you want to hear about cost segregation, I can hook you up with them. It'll be in the show notes. I've always wanted to say that. It'll be in the show notes. Doesn't that sound so fancy?
You did a great job, Mom.
I know. I'm pretty impressed. But so I want to ask you, Britt, and you may or may not have one. Do you have any soundtracks that you are trying to develop for relationships?
Well, I told you about that I deserve a love I don't have to chase.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's so good.
So
that works for all of them.
Yeah. And I think it's just depending on where I'm at. You know, I, like you, in the morning have my quiet time and I write affirmations. So my affirmations tend to take the tone of whatever I'm dealing with at the time. Some of them I have on repeat and do over and over again. But if I'm feeling a need for something, it's, you know, sometimes I'll say, I deserve love, peace, and connection. You know, I'll say the things that I am seeking. You know, people want to hear from me. People want to connect with me. People want to connect with what I have. Like whatever that thing is that I need to hear in that moment is what I tend to write down. But I think probably the biggest one is I deserve a love I don't have to chase. Like I'm not entering into rooms where I have to hustle for my self-worth anymore. Either you want what I have or see you later. And now that's easier said than done, right? Especially as a recovering people pleaser. It's like you want everybody to like you, right? But my desire for truth and authenticity, my hunger for that is greater than my need to be liked right now.
Like me, it's so funny. You know this about me, and people are always shocked to find out, and my audience knows this about me. I'm not as extroverted as you think I am. I'm more of an extroverted introvert or introverted. I don't know
I think
how
you're balanced.
Yeah, I am kind of balanced, but I require a lot of alone time. I require a lot of reflection, a lot of time alone. I do not get energized. That's the test. I'm not energized by being around other people. I'm energized by time of reflection and inner study. And something happened today that just, I don't know why it went into my spirit today, but it's one of my new mantras, and it's an old campfire song from when I was a little girl. And
What song is it?
It only takes a spark to get a fire going. That's how it is with God's love. Once you experience it, you want to sing, it's fresh like spring. You want to pass it on. And that's where I'm living right now. And it makes me so happy. So that was a happy time of being in church camp and singing those songs. And that came back to my mind today. And I thought, that is what I'm going to live by right now. So in other words, I don't think I have to do big things. If I'm doing great example. I drove through, I'm almost embarrassed to say this too, but it gave me so much happiness and joy. So I go through the Burger King parking lot, the drive-thru, which I do a lot because Jet likes to go through Burger King on the way home from
Shout out to the Hershey pie.
baseball.
Okay.
Yeah. So I go through, and the guy that was behind the thing, he looked at me and he said, "You have the sweetest, most happy energy. I love seeing you come through here." When he said that to me, I thought, maybe it's just those little bitty things, not the big things, that little spark that maybe you put in the life of someone.
I don't know. I think that's a big thing.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I think the most influential thing that we have is the energy we
But
bring.
I can hardly even talk about it without crying, but that sweet fella gave me the greatest gift through the dapper Burger King window.
I love that you say fella.
You know?
Makes me happy. That fella.
That fella with those breeches on.
He's so precious, that fella at the Burger King drive-thru.
But, I don't know. Because I've been honest with my audience too. I've been on the struggle bus for a few months now. Trying to figure out a few things in my life. But I'm also excited because I'm about to be 67.
Level 67 coming up.
I'm so excited. I don't know why I'm excited about that.
Get ready, world.
Oh my gosh, baby. We've been talking a while, so we got to wrap this baby up. You got things to do.
Yep.
Places to go. Is there any parting amazing words you want to tell people before we go?
Wow. Way to put me on the spot, Mom.
Well, say an unamazing word.
I don't know. I think I'm just trying to really focus on my recovery right now. And I equate my inner artist with my inner child. And I think every time we choose curiosity over fear, as Liz Gilbert says, we're leaning into our creative selves. And that's what we were designed to do. We were designed to be makers, not consumers. So I think that whenever I start to feel like out of sorts, I know I got to make something.
One of my other new mantras that I'm doing right now on my new soundtracks is I collaborate with grace on a daily basis.
Oh, I like that.
I collaborate with grace on a daily basis. And I want to do that more and more.
Thanks for having me, Mom.
I love having you. I love having time with you. Thank you, babe. You're adorable, and you're sweet, and you're kind, and you're precious.
Thanks.
I'm glad you're here.
Okay.
All right, she gets real uncomfortable. Not as uncomfortable as her daughter does. But that's okay. Y'all, I loved having y'all. I'm very thankful you're here. I'm so grateful for the people that love and believe in this message of hope and light and goodness in this world that is so in need of all of that. So thank you for being a happy ass. Be sweet, y'all.